right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Here we are. Game number 2 is, or game number 1, excuse me, is upon us here of our second series now for today of the group stages. Of course, as promised, here we got SaintRoX eSports taking on Chopstick Gaming here in another 2-game series. Looking forward to seeing how this one now plays out. Joined by SaintRoX once again as my co-caster here. Again, here we are with a very experienced, very dominating team in SaintRoX eSports, clearly continuing that trend. A very impressive performance against Reason Gaming earlier today. You got Chopstick Gaming on the other hand, which is a newer team on the scene. Sure, they got a couple players that have been playing at a top-tier level for a little bit at least, but it's, they got their work cut out for them here. So this one should be interesting. We'll see if Chopstick has what it takes to, at the very least, compete against a dangerous SaintRoX eSports team. So, anyways, SaintRoX, welcome back.
Thank you, and good to be here.
Yeah.
Well, we saw a very aggressive sync in the 2 previous games, but this time around they actually got Warbeast, who is not, known as being really an aggressive suicide by any means.
Yeah. Got that with the...
And to follow it up, there is actually like a Way to Ease, also known as Embray, and Charlie, also known as Priceless. They have been competitively active for a long time. Not as long as Insania and Kisu, but they have been there longer than Mickey and Matthias and Slammed actually. So they're definitely also old school.
Yeah.
That's Ophelia pickup. Interesting.
Yeah, 4th pick Ophelia. Not often that's left open that long for SaintRoX eSports especially, so that's pretty risky on the side of Chopstick Gaming, I think it's safe to say, to leave it open for that long. And now they got the Warbeast Ophelia synergy too, so putting themselves in a tough spot already, it feels like.
Yeah, a lot of pushes coming out here, definitely from this team. And Aluna Bihi. I mean, you don't want to face that kind of team fight, really. One thing they got going for them is that they have the Fade and the Moira, so they might be able to catch Bihi before he does the good old initiation and just stomps everyone to the ground. And Revenant as well.
And they finish it with Rhapsody to end it all. So that means Aluna, Aluna's going to be more of a farming ganker, and Boxy of Bad Monkey Gaming has been doing this a little bit here. We've seen in the group stages, so it seems like Matthias may get his hands on it here. Also worth pointing out that obviously Warbeast not going to be in the jungle, going to be in the hands of Keizu, so definitely some interesting stuff happening here. Behemoth being played by Mickey on top of it all. This is definitely turning out to be pretty fun here. But yeah, last pick in the Rhapsody. The push is definitely real here on the side of SaintRoX eSports.
I think we're looking at a push lineup that won in this game relatively quickly. So forget what I said about their aggression. This team is definitely looking to take some Raxes approximately 20 to 25 minutes into the game.
And Oogie to finish it off. All right. So now the game plan. So it's pretty obvious what the game plan is for SaintRoX eSports. And now, what is the game plan for Chopstick Gaming over here? I mean, this is a very aggressive lineup, that's for certain. The Revenant, even the Yogi to an extent could definitely be involved in fights sooner than later. So I guess that's going to be their game plan, right? Just be aggressive from the beginning.
Yeah. I think. I'm sorry, I was laughing there. Insania told me to tell you that if you Google lame, Hellborn lineup will show up.
What? That doesn't even make sense. Sandy is such a troll lately, man.
Yeah. Anyway, we're going over that lineup. I think Hellborn's win condition is going to be ganking a lot. Like, obviously, they have the late game in Oogie, but then they have Moira and Revenant and Fade that have really just amazing mobility, shrouded mobility that will allow for a lot of ganks. So I think that's going to be their ball.
Did you say Insania said the other team's lineup is lame?
Yeah.
Or his?
Yeah. No. He doesn't like the Fade Revenant Moira combination.
And he's picking Warbeast Ophelia with a Rhapsody, and he's calling the other team lame?
It doesn't have to make sense with Insania. It doesn't have to make sense. It's just It's like, you know, when people call you try hard in Team M, it's like, okay, what? So you're not trying to win the game,
Yeah, yeah,
and
no,
I'm
that's
getting shit for trying? That's like, I don't know. I think that's the kind of logic we're dealing with here.
that seems like it. All right. Okay, but yeah, this is definitely turning out to be what should be a pretty good game right here. Obviously, some fun talk of back and forth and banter as we usually see. But now we got the lane shaping up, so some more information there. Matthias on a Luna, sure enough, is going to be short lane down here to start it off. Wait, what? They're swapping. Behemoth is going top? No, she's just going to block? What is going on
Oh,
here?
that looks like looks like a suicide behe. Actually, no, it's not a suicide behe. It's a behe that does the suicide behe trick. He's gonna block it off for Kisu. So, but why does he have wolves out then? Interesting. I think usually, you know, Warbeast is a great suicide because he can pull with the dogs. Behe is used as a suicide because he can block all the way of the waves with his stuns. But it looks like they're simply just doing both here, and best of both worlds.
Yeah.
But that's gonna set Mickey back in mid a little bit, don't you think? I know, you know, I mean, he's gonna use half his mana pool on this stun.
Well, I don't know. I mean, okay. So Warbeast is now heading back up there. Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
Well, that's what I was concerned. Like, that's what was really throwing me off. Was that Warbeast himself was heading towards the middle lane, as if they were actually
like,
rotating. But
yeah, exactly. It
changed
did
it
look
up.
like he was gonna try to do the block, but now Kisu is gonna be like, I got this, Mickey. You don't have to.
Yeah. Guess talking about it in the pause right there. I mean, that was the Hellborn team pausing too. It wasn't even Sync doing the pause right there. So they maybe just change of heart at the last second. Just say, you know what, let's just go with what we had from the beginning, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, it does end up being Behemoth in the middle lane. It'll be a Behemoth versus a Revenant here in the middle. I got to think Revenant should have a pretty good time here in the middle lane. Already a pretty dominating solo hero, but now actually going to be pressured by Rhapsody. So sure enough, it's not a 1 versus 1. It is indeed a 2 versus 1 here. In the middle is how it ends up. So that means Aluna, again, short lane against the Midas down there, but lanes make sense now. You know, rotating Rhapsody in the middle lane. You like what Not Sync is doing here. As actually, oh my god, bloodless kill? Wow, very close.
Close, but no cigar. I really like what they're doing. It's this like he was gonna get stomped by Revenant. Revenant is so strong against melees. But with the support from Rhapsody, Mickey is actually gonna have a good time. And Mickey is playing the catch role for this push lineup. If you remember back in the Stay Green days, Swindle would always get either Deadwood or Pebbles to follow up his push lineups, because you can't just push base just like that. You need some catch, and that's what Mickey is playing. So getting Polky and Mickey is going to be very important for them.
Yeah, you know, this actually does take me back. We have seen Mickey actually run the Behemoth before, especially when the Enraged buff first happened, where he actually built it with an Assassin Shroud. We saw that style of build, and that was a lot of fun to watch. Now, yeah, I don't think we're going to see that here necessarily. I pointed out getting that portal key, being mobile earlier on, and getting that initiation presence, the ganking presence for his team, probably is what we'll see in the long run here. But especially with that support, again, he's off to a pretty good start. But that means, you know, so what's going good for the Hellborn side? I think it's probably the Hellborn, or the top lane, excuse me. For here. And
I mean, right now, Oogie is getting freeform pretty much. And, you know, ultimately, that's what's going to carry them. Their win condition is Oogie. Getting a big, fat Oogie is going to be able to stop anything in top lane, actually.
Yeah, this is going to help with that, actually. Keizu, he has nowhere to go in the end. He kept eating through the trees, but eventually he just simply got stopped. I mean, he still had more Blights left. Only one more left, though, in the hatchet, but I think he actually did get stunned before he could try to eat his way out right there and eventually kill. Now he resurrects and TPs right away back to the top lane, so wants to make sure not to miss out on any experience if possible. But that means Oogie even better now with that kill, 427 gold per minute or so at this time. Gets the Ring of the Teacher early on, and well on its way to a very good start. Middle lane, actually, Revenant could be in a lot of trouble right here. No, Rhapsody. Staccato was on cooldown. If that was not on cooldown right there, Revenant could have actually been a dead Revenant, but he is fine.
Yep, definitely. He was definitely playing at a pretty close quarters here. but I'm not sure. Like he doesn't have the greatest output of damage until he gets his ulti. So I think Revenant, if he just plays it safe and make sure not to get harassed too much from by Insania, he should be fine in mid. At least getting XP.
Yeah, bottom lane. How was Aluna doing? Matthias, he's 17-6 so far against a Midas who's 3-1. Wow. Matthias having a very good time. I gotta think Slapped has been a part of that as well. Keeping Midas on his toes here.
He's moving mid as we're speaking.
Yeah, he's looking for an opportunity, but playing a little too defensive and actually going to run into Midas right here. Going to get Midas to,
oh no.
He got hit on the cliff right there, ended up walking down into Ophelia, and now he's in a lot of trouble. Camarado attacks, missing the uphill, gets killed by the neutrals. Well played by Midas right there. Invis room picked up by Revenant in the meantime, and now Ophelia's in a lot of trouble. She will end up falling, and, well, I mean, technically a 1-for-1. Not really, though. It's in favor of the Hellborn team because he died to the neutrals there.
Yeah, exactly. Really well done from Denver. I mean, that jump, you gotta think that was a miscalculation, but it actually turned out to be great bait.
It sure did, and that means 2-0 lead now for Chopstick Gaming, so they got to be feeling pretty good about the circumstances here. You got Steam Boost just finished on Oogie as well. Behemoth, though, he is 300 plus. Aluna about 300 herself. Now, again, when we've seen Boxy play it, he plays it in the middle lane, gets farm on her. It seems like he's like the route of the Sacrificial Stone, the Tablet. That's kind of his style of play. What would you expect to see Matthias get here?
I mean, honestly, I think you're on the right track. I think Omi should be Matthias is going to be looking to get some of the supportive cast. Maybe even the Astrolabe Slap is doing bad. Because they want this Astrolabe on the correct timing to be able to push towers. But if not the Astrolabe, then he's definitely going to get a Tablet. And then maybe even a Storm Spirit. I don't think Storm Spirit is... I don't know. Like, something he's also going to be looking into dealing with Oogie later on. So maybe a Hellflower as well. Top lane.
Warbeast is caught out up here. And, yep, eventually going to get killed off. Mora doing a great job. JLE coming in with the flank of the Illusion. And Warby's kind of realizing he didn't have much place to go once that happened. So another kill onto Keizu is now second death. So this very aggressive lineup, I mean, that's what really screamed, of course. And this is somewhat of a greedier lineup with the Warby's especially here of not sync. And it's showing here that that Chopstick Gaming is ready to face off against it. By the way, Fade a great job.
Nice.
Stunning and stealing the regen rune right there in front of Behemoth. That prevents him from getting any bottle charges now, too.
Yeah, that was a really nice snipe from Way to Ease. And you know what? It's kind of like Oogie is getting to that point where he's... Oh, my God.
Gonna be fine.
That was close.
That was very close right there. And actually, now Fade, I was going to say by herself, but no, Moria's here all of a sudden. Tried the Harkon stun coming out, and one more auto attack. Rhapsody will fall right there. Behemoth stomp comes out, doesn't matter. So good kill onto Rhapsody. And the kills continue. They barely staying alive, but they are. And that's what matters, of course.
Definitely. This is not getting to put up the aggression as they basically were leading against recent gaming. This time around, we have someone else taking the game in control, and that's I mean, that's what you need to do. You can't just let a team like Sing just run away with everything. So, and really, Price has been Charlie has been a big part of this with his gank with Moira. So yeah, Mickey is put on a lot of pressure in mid.
Absolutely, and they really need that. Not Sync definitely needs Mickey here to actually continue this solid start at least 350 gold per minute. Again, we're really kind of has been a 2 versus 1. As bottom lane, are they diving? They are trying to onto Midas, but he's a little too slippery. He escapes with the Elemental Warp. Now, of course, they got the first tower. They're going to be going for the second one. They're at least going to force a reaction here out of Chopstick Gaming, and I think it's safe to say you would want to defend it if you're Chopstick and already are heading over.
Definitely. You don't want to give up secondary towers to a push lineup. That's when they're gonna be okay. We got this lane. Now we're gonna continue to the next, and as soon as they start pushing it through mid, you lose a lot of map control, and that's when shit starts flying. To be honest.
Yeah. So Warbeast, calming down himself. Keizu's usually obviously very good at this. So sure, he has died a couple times, and that itself may be a little unorthodox, but that's to the credit of Chopstick Gaming. But not going to continue to feed by any means. He is playing it very safe. He's pulling with the Hellhound. He's trying to, actually, but the Hellhound's just about dead. And he'll actually go back with it. It's a little bit of a, I guess, Oogie more so kind of preventing that from happening.
The music from this Rhapsody avatar is like, I'm not sure how to place it, but it's really funky.
It's different, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely different.
The dance floor, too, throws me off. It's like all of a sudden there's this huge dance floor on the ground that's like very noticeable.
Yeah,
it definitely
stands out.
It does. So you know that you're on top of it. Meanwhile, Fade, he's looking to jump in. Burning Shadows opener. Shards of Harkon, yep, it will be in range. That fissure block, though, causing you what a red stun on a Moira right there, by the way. It's a 5-second stun, and she is ticking down, and eventually will be killed off. The red stun is successful for a kill. Rhapsody is going to be fine. The Tarquake's just not enough from Oogie right there, and he'll have to fall back from it. So very back-and-forth battle in the middle lane. Does result in a Moira kill, so not the end of the world for either side, or, you know, the greatest thing for Sync ever, but kill is a kill. Oogie, though, he'll go back into the jungle, and he's nearly 500 gold per minute now, and he already has a Gnome's Wisdom, which he chose to go for first here, as far as his build.
Mid lane.
Are they going on to Revenant? They are. Shockwave used, and yep, that will secure a kill. They've been doing that so many times in this early game, but it was just a matter of time before the levels would actually be enough.
Yeah, exactly. He got his ulti, and that's when they had the damage to really take down the Revenant, other than just, you know, pressure him a lot. But yeah, as I said earlier, the win condition for this Hellborn team is get a really fat Oogie and, you know, just hard carry the game. And to achieve that, they've been putting out a lot of aggression, a lot of ganks, making sure that the pressure stays off Oogie and on Sync, so Sync doesn't get the space to do whatever they want. And that's really smart.
Yeah. These GPM charts, though, it definitely tells quite the story. I mean, this is an all-in on Oogie right here, as nobody else on his team is above even 200 gold per minute right now for Chopstick Gaming. So that's where it's a little dire. You know, you can't feel the most comfortable by any means for this Hellborn side.
But on the other side, if you look at Sync's lineup, they don't really have any carry. I mean, of course, there's a Warbeast, but that's a Suicide Warbeast. He doesn't have great farm. And he certainly won't out-carry an Oogie. So, if you think of it that way, like, usually it's grim to have one carry that's really farmed against a tri-core lineup. But in this sense, I mean, Sync doesn't really have any carries that you need to be afraid of.
I know this is a little bit later on in the game, but it's still early enough, and Oogie is doing a great job. But a little bit of hindsight here. Well, why do you think... Because that was the last pick here from the Hellborn team. Why would they go with an Oogie? What does Oogie bring? Is it maybe the counter push that he helps bring? Something along those lines?
Yeah, and also, like, he's a super tanky carry that will end up snowballing, and eventually he will be able to outlive the burst from Bihi, the burst from, like, basically Aluna and Bihi and Rhapsody have some sort of burst, and Oogie is a carry that will be able to outlive it while participating in team fights. So compared to a Dark Lady, Oogie starts off a little bit earlier and can do a little bit more for you. Mid lane.
Yeah, they're going to be engaging. They certainly are. Rhapsody caught up in front, and she is going to go down. However, Revenant also picked off in return. But here comes the Oogie. Primal Surge is up. You do not want to fight that right now if you're not Sync eSports. And in fact, he's going to put up the Tarkix. Look at Behemoth. He is just melting away if he gets a shockwave off, but it doesn't matter. Oogie's still well alive. And that Primal Surge, a big reason for that. It does wear off right here, but he gets the team support needed to secure another kill on Ophelia. And that exchange right there ends up in a 3-for-1. Aluna's on the run. It was a 3-for-2, actually. It looks like Faye was picked up, but she bought back and helping to secure those couple of last kills. Aluna, I think she's going to be a little too far away. Deja Vu again in 10 seconds. Well, maybe not, actually. They're striding in. Maybe if you can get a Burning Shadow stun angle right here. Oh, my God, they're going to catch her. Deja Vu in 3 seconds. She can't dodge that. And, it's she's too tanky.
Then he missed his combo, unfortunately, minus. So that was unfortunate, but still a good fight. And as I just talked about, Oogie is one of those carries that can, like, from very early on, he can be the center of the battle without going down due to his ulti. And that's what he did. He tanked a lot of stuff, and he kept B away from any good ulti. And that's really what he needs to do. And intact with like as soon as he gets more farm, he will be increasingly more dominant in a team fight.
Absolutely. Icon of the Goddess already finished as well on top of... And again, Gnome's Wisdom, this is really one of the only heroes we see it on, but it really obviously makes a lot of sense. He's spamming that mana, and if you're going to be doing that, Gnome's Wisdom is a pretty good item to have because that just the shield that it in essence gives you, of course, with the proc of it, and having that Ring of the Teacher effect as well. Very good for this team. Now, this is interesting over here. Arcane Vortex actually got Behemoth, but really just to stall them. Oogie wanted to finish off the Ancients. He got most of them. A couple of Dragon Masters are left behind, though, and that's where Sync will come in and clean them up. So a little bit of stolen resources there.
I mean, like the Dragon Masters are a pretty big part of the Ancient Tri-Stack. Like they usually give like 150 gold, where the small ones give 80. So that's still a big part of the Ancient Tri-Stack that Oogie is missing out on. So really good move from Sync to cut off Oogie where they where won't get punished for it. Fate sniping another rune. Great. Way2E's have been really good at this.
Yeah.
He's moving in, taking the rune.
Formerly known as Embry, I got that confirmation there the other day, so he's a player
that's him. Yep. That's Embry, and Chowli's TPS priceless.
Yes, that we've known for a while here. So yeah, again, it goes back to although this is a new team technically on the scene, they definitely have experience, of course, amongst several other players at a top-tier level. So very worthy of qualifying here. They were one of the top 2 teams from the qualifiers, of course, to make it them and Sana eSports, and then Revolution rounding up the 3 that made it here for Cycle #1, joining the invited teams. And again, Chopstick Gaming also 5 points currently. They're actually in 4th place technically right now in the standings. Now again, you compare it to they've played a little more games than several other teams, so it doesn't really matter until the very end. Yes, and Sunday here, but still, it's got to feel something pretty good. As top lane, Fade's charging in. They put a Revo down at the last second. They're going to see him, but he opens before they really do, and now Ophelia's in trouble. Fade is going to be bursted, but so does Ophelia. Rhapsody porting out. It was a good decision by Exene to get back as quickly as they did, at least. Only losing the 1, because it seemed like that could have been a lot worse for them.
Yeah. Fade didn't get to initiate with the stun. That's really what he like. Some Fates, they run in and they use their ulti, and all of a sudden they miss their stun. Like instead of just landing the secure stun, that's a mistake a lot of Fates go for. Sometimes the stun is simply just way more useful than landing that ulti damage that you get from hitting them once. So in this case, I think Fade didn't he die? He actually didn't die.
Did not die, no.
He could have secured a kill on one more guy if he had initiated with his stun instead of hitting Ophelia, then getting stunned by the Minotaur. Oh, mid lane.
Yeah, I was going to say, now Fade's dead. As Mickey finds him. That was a shockwave. He was also the portal key, of course, showing off right there. So a couple of resources in that sense used by Behemoth, but it got a big, solid kill at least out of it.
Yeah, definitely.
Fade here.
I mean, it's a really nice find for Mickey, utilizing his portal key, and it's like it's good to get the ulti used. Making sure that there's still some pressure put up. If not by him, then by someone else on the team. So the Hellborn team doesn't completely take over with Fate, Moira, and Revenant.
Now, I know the Legion side, they have a lot of dust on them. They got Ophelia, they got Rhapsody. But do you think a bound die here sooner or later? Is it understandable to you that they don't have a bound die yet? Because, I mean, they're going to be getting one. They're going against a Revenant, a Fate. I mean, you need one, right? But do they need it yet?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's a lot of money. It's 700 gold, and right now they're still trying. Ophelia is still trying to get her Astrolabe. Omi could get it. Omi could get it right now, or at least in 40 gold. But you don't want to force your support into buying it. Rhapsody can't buy it. She wouldn't have boots if she bought it, and chances are she's going to die with it. So right now they're trying to. Something happening mid?
Well, Behemoth jumping Midas right there, but this is going to backfire somewhat at least. Arcane Vortex had also got the Ophelia minions, I guess, and Behemoth now is falling back. Is going to be fine in the end as gets away. So he jumped in, tried to get a kill on a Midas. Unsuccessful, though.
Midas is a tanky hero. To finish up what I was saying, they need their core items before they can buy an eye. It's gonna cost them too much. But yeah, eventually they're definitely looking to get that eye.
Yeah.
Right now, it's the core items that's the most important.
Oogie, I assume, is going to be getting a shrunken head here. Going the Warhammer first, always a little funky seeing that first in some cases, but wants that damage, is safe to say. I mean, he is pretty tanky already, so doesn't necessarily need the Mighty Blade first. But anyways, deep as the tower, middle lane, the secondary going down. No defense put up there. I think that's pretty understandable. Again, Chopstick Gaming, they do have a pretty good team fight as well as just push in general going with them. And unless it's the base tower, you're probably not overall.
They don't want to risk it. Sorry to cut you off. They don't want to risk a team fight at this point. They're going up and against an Ophelia that has Astrolabe, a Behe that's level 2. He has level 2 Shockwave and a Polki. They know that now. And they don't want to risk it. If they lose this team fight against this pushing team, they're going to get so punished on even more towers. So they're going to wait until Oogie has his shrunken head before they take a big fight. That's what I expect for them. Oh, Mickey's setting up mid.
Yeah, they're going to trade towers, really, is what happens right there, at least the top and the bottom. Middle, Behemoth, as you're pointing out, he is setting up here, and you do got Oogie still kind of hanging around a little bit, but now Behemoth comes in figuring that they were gone, and they kind of were at that time. So, but again, you can definitely tell Chopstick Gaming, they're not really interested in defending outer towers right now. Well, they are kind of moving up here, though, as I say that, and they're trying to catch somebody. Warbeast goes ulti for Fade. He missed the stun initially. Arcane Vortex did catch a couple, though. The follow-up, though, is really late. They weren't necessarily that nearby. And in the end, Sync is going to be fine, so missing out there.
They realized that Behe was mid, and he's really like the big reason as to why they don't want a team fight. If Behe lands a strong ulti on 2 guys, that team fight is most likely going to be lost. So as soon as Behe showed mid, they're like, okay, well, we should probably take the fight top then, while Behe is mid. But Mickey was really quick at rotating, and they didn't really commit that well into taking the fight top. I don't think Charlie actually caught anyone in his Mario ulti, or at least not someone they could be.
He got a couple. He got Rhapsody and Ophelia, but again, it's more so.
Oh, but Fade missed her stun then. There was someone missed their stun, so the chain kind of broke, and then they just decided to not follow it up mid lane.
Yeah, Behemoth has kind of been. I thought that was the other team's rev for a second, but no, it is their own, so he's fine. He was kind of hunting around Midas for a little bit, but again, we saw earlier he tried to get a kill, couldn't necessarily secure it, so figuring it's just not worth the opening, doesn't want to waste an ulti cooldown when it's not even guaranteed that he would get it, so. Oh, top? Maybe get Fade up here. No, just a little too far away. No dust or anything. They're really spamming these rev wards. I mean, you can tell. Not Sync eSports. They are keeping a point to have the rev wards down and see Fade whenever he happens to be nearby. And it is making it difficult for Way Too Easy right here.
Yeah, I mean, that's really smart as well. Right now, Fade only has a level 1 ulti, meaning that ulti will be on cooldown a lot. Oh, they're going to defend this. This is when Oogie has shrunken head.
There we go. Moira going in. Arcane Vortex is ready to go. Deny on the tower. It doesn't count. Oh, got Ophelia, looks like, and Rhapsody at the last second as well. Oogie charging in. He is level 16 as well. Rhapsody, she's going to be fine. Nobody dead just yet. Midas, Elemental warping away. Revenant's the one. He's caught in a bad spot. He finally will fall, and that is the first blood of this battle. But here we go. The shrunken head Oogie. He's sitting on top of Rhapsody. Look at the 1 kill. The Legion team, they can't do a damn thing while he has that shrunken head up. Behemoth going to go down, and Ophelia has to run away. Behemoth died with a shockwave still unused. That shows you that shrunken head just doing so much there. Aluna, well, she actually may survive, as, yeah, they were not able to stun her. In the background, Fade gets picked off. So, I mean, really, that wasn't that bad for Sync, considering the jump there.
I mean, it came down to, if you have the replay, Oogie did something like he was running a lot while Sync was fighting.
Yeah.
He tried to flank them by moving all the way behind him, behind the tree line. And that just, like, that cost him a lot of time. Where he didn't really do anything, and his team took a lot of damage.
Yeah.
I mean, Revenant went down before he even entered the fight, really. So yeah, that's part of the reason why this fight was a lot better for Sync than it probably should have.
Yeah, watching the replay here, yeah, again, he did eventually chase on Rhapsody and Behemoth, but then got kind of caught in some creeps and couldn't really chase further. But I will say again, though, the shrunken head presence of his clearly showed that fight.
Yeah.
How much of an impact
That
it
is
would
the
be.
sole reason they chose to take the fight. That was because Oogie just finished his shrunken head. Now he can run down Bihi and just make him like kill Bihi before he gets off a good ulti. That's going to be Now's job this entire game. Find Bihi, possibly with the help of Fade, run him down, make sure he doesn't get that behemoth ulti off that can really change the team fight.
Warbeast does have a shrunken head, though, now. And so speaking of that item, and just as it's good for the Hellborn team to have one, it's pretty damn good to have one on the Legion side. In fact, arguably even better, as, again, Oogie, as the carry of the team, he is completely negated, really, by a shrunken head. So this is all magic damage. There really is no physical threat here on the Hellborn side. So yeah, shrunken head, mystic vestments, hell, barrier idol's not an item we see often nowadays, but I wouldn't be surprised if we do see one this game coming out from Ophelia.
Could be. But it's a lot of money. I've spoken with Insania about this in the past, and he doesn't favor the item too much, simply because it is 400 extra life to everyone on your team. But if someone goes and focus down that one player, it doesn't do a whole lot. Like if you're 4 versus 5, you're still 4 versus 5. He didn't like the item.
It's
too
more
much.
impactful for the AOE. That's an interesting way to put it, and I do see the logic there. But and again, you really think to when we did used to see it, it was those stay green days, the group up and push earlier in the game. And that's where it's really powerful, right? Where people are still kind of relying on that early magic damage, especially, to be a big threat and a lot of counter push. And it's hard to do that when everything absorbs 400 magic damage as you're pushing it into their base. So yeah, no, that makes sense for sure. As far as that's concerned, and then of course then the discussion goes, well, what is she getting indifferent to or in place of it? And seems like a Storm Spirit here is.
I think Storm Spirit Ophelia is one of those combinations they're just really, really strong. Like, she can save just about anyone. If they get in trouble, she sends them home, then she Storm Spirits them, and then when they pop down, they're going to be sent home safely. It's a good way to avoid unnecessary team loss. Mid lane.
Yeah, going to find Revenant right here by himself, and he is going to be caught and eventually killed off. So Mewtwo 1, 4, and 2, really not a big impact in that sense, but I will say, again, the synergy of his abilities, the mortification especially, it no doubt is helping quite a bit in team fights and definitely to come here. But his invis, the Essence Shroud ganks, have not really been a thing, it feels like, at the same time. So kind of a give and take there for Revenant.
Yeah, he's not been lucky with his positioning either. He got caught off in the first team fight, and that's where he really needs to excel. In mid lane, Oogie is very cautiously farming here. Doesn't want to get caught by Bihi. And that's a Kong. Interestingly enough, they put the token on Kisu. It's like back in the days you would never put token on Wild Soul because when he died, Boo Boo died with him, and that's kind of how you build the hero. The same goes for Warbeast. If Warbeast dies, chances are his ulti is going to be on cooldown, and that's really what makes the hero useful. I mean, so I don't really like that, honestly. I think it should be on Luna.
I think if he was level 3 ulti, maybe you could argue it's kind of worth it. But yeah, you're right. Level 2, it's a 60-second with a 16 uptime. So that's what? The quick math. 34, no, 40, no, jeez, I suck. 44 seconds, there we go. I promise. I did well in math.
That's a lot of downtime.
Yeah.
And chances are you just used it when you died. If you're going to die. So a token on Warbeast, not very useful unless you want him to push base. The only reason I could see it being useful is if Warbeast is the front that goes and hits the tower and takes the damage takes the Fade Stun, takes the Midas combo, and then he's gonna go down, and then he's gonna pop back up with his ulti. That's the only that must be how Sync decides to play this. If they give Kisu the token. Okay. That's really the only thing that makes sense to me.
They got some okay damage around him. They got some upfront burst damage, but not really a lot of sustained damage in these fights. They're really relying on Warbeast for the most part, and Luna could be that, but not with her build. She went the tablet into now a portal key, so she's playing very much so more of a roamer, an initiator even of sorts, a kind of a lockdown assistance here. Hellflower is coming, it seems like, but again, it goes back to the point that damage right now is a lot on Warbeast.
That's. I mean, I completely expected that build, and Sync is doing what I just mentioned. They are sending Warbeast in the front, and he's hitting the tower. He's taking the initial damage, but he will still be able to participate in the upcoming fight, just due to the token. So I like what they're doing. But in any other case, Luna should be the one with the token, definitely.
Yeah.
Maybe even Beaky.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we did see last fight. I mean, he didn't even shockwave the whole time, and he ended up dying.
Exactly.
So that's true. We obviously Chopstick. They are holding it again. Needed to be a little careful not to go all out on a token Warbeast here, and they did a pretty good job of that. Sure, they used an Arcane Vortex, but they probably had to use something in the end. And actually, I am looking at their ability cooldowns, and really, as far as ultis go, I mean, I guess where I'm looking at it, kind of that's like the one longer one, the one bigger one is that Arcane Vortex, because everything else isn't really that long of a cooldown, or it's just passive, of course, for them. So that's kind of the.
Oogie is getting closer to that cheap stick.
Oh my god!
He actually has it right now.
Wow, 600 gold per minute, man.
Yep, he is fat. It all comes down to Legion's lockdown on Oogie. If Oogie gets to run free, he can win this game, like pretty much alone at this point.
Yeah.
So they need to do something about him. Like Warbeast is probably going to be sitting at him. You take it.
Well, that's the idea. I mean, he does have a Brutalizer now, which will help, but oh, okay. We do see a pause coming out right here, but Warbeast is taking some pretty good damage as he's at the tower. So yeah, it does look like Mickey did crash, and that's what a timeout's. Unfortunate timing, but it did happen. So please initiate.
Please initiate, yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, that's obviously that's like the worst hero to DC right there too. Because oh wow, he's not even nearby. Oh my god.
No, he was running back for a long time. So this is actually like if they go on them now, Sync will lose this game. So hopefully we see some sportsmanship and they will let Kisu get out. At least maybe just kill his token and then get out. It's one of those gray area things.
Well, it's one of those. It's like sportsmanship. I don't know about that, even to be fair, because for one, they don't have the vision that we do, and that like they don't actually know that Behemoth has fallen back right here. So there is that side to it, and then there's also like, you know, I hate to say it, but it is kind of on Sync to, you know, they're the ones that have You got to be aware of that. Your Behemoth is halfway back to base, looking at that mini map, noticing, and by the time they did, I mean, he's already. You see the distance. I mean, this is quite a while that he was running back here. So, when they are, I think they should, and no, they are gonna.
They tried to get him, but it didn't work. Hellflower, Sheepstick doesn't really work on a Warbeast and ulti. But yeah, no harm done. Mickey is back in the game. But that could really have messed him up pretty good, and I get your point. I know what you mean. Like it's not really their problem that Mickey times out and they are not fast enough to pause. But you would hate to see a game like this get not ruined by one because someone disconnects at an unfortunate time.
Yeah.
At least I think that's really it's just a slobby ending, or I don't know,
no, for sure. It's that's there always is then those asterisks come up like, well, do they really deserve it? But in this case, we are kind of lucky in that both teams also, like I said, I think they actually did even try to go for Warbeast right there, but it just couldn't because the Sheepstick he ultied and as we saw right there, the ulti form doesn't care about any Sheepsticks or things like that. So okay, that's an interesting bug to have. As I do know that we were just having some Han issues, unfortunately, that are happening. So,
I had a weird bug as well. Like it told me that someone else was using my account when no one was using my account.
Yeah, I think it is a bug kind of going around right now that it's as far as login and stuff that happens every now and then. So, we'll give it a minute here. Yeah, apparently. Yeah, so what here, let's just do this right here. We're going to go on a short break because I'm going to also reach out, and I'm sure that people are aware right now that need to know, but I haven't seen some stuff in chat, and now this happening. So since we are in a pause anyways, we're going to take a short break, guys. We'll get this figured out, and obviously we'll come back when he is good to go. So, ladies and gentlemen, sit tight. We got Chopstick Gaming versus Not Sync eSports here, best of 2 series, coming at you, game number 1. hopefully we'll be back shortly here. I'll keep you guys updated at the very least. Stay tuned, guys. we are back. As we can see, it looks like we are good to go now. I was able to come back on and take care of business there. So here we are. We're zooming on with game number 1 here. What actually has turned out to be a pretty damn good game. And again, if you were to ask most people, including myself, which of the 2 series would be more competitive and better today, probably the first one. Well, I mean, hell, no matter how this one finishes so far, this second series has actually proven to be the more competitive of Chopstick versus Sync. But here we go, Arcane Vortex. They caught Behemoth there. We are going to have a fight commencing. In jumps Oogie. Behemoth, he's dropping quickly. He can't do a damn thing. He tablets away to barely get a finish that off, but he'll fall shortly after. Oogie in the background, still doing plenty of damage. Gets a kill on a Rhapsody. Warbeast, he's trying to be a factor in the front lines. He has his shotgun, or no shotgun has been used actually. There we go. He will pop it. He has a token still, is what I meant to say. It is getting low though. That is very important. It's down to 13 seconds right now in the fight, but he does help clean up several of the supporting casts, and now Oogie has to get back. He is still on the run. He is going to be fine. Revenant, in the meantime, off to the side, is going to get caught, though, and will eventually be killed off. So a big battle we have as soon as we resume right back in.
Was disastrous for Sync. Like, he got caught off in a horrible position, and, like, Oogie got to go straight to him. He didn't get a chance to ulti, and then he just went down. Rhapsody tried to ulti, but it was too late. So it was just horrible. But then Mickey, he bought back, he buys his post haste, and all of a sudden he comes in with a huge ulti, and Hellborn didn't see it coming, and that turned an awful fight for them into something less awful, I want to say. But I still think now, the fact that now survived that fight means that they're getting closer and closer to that point where now it's just going to be too dominant on Oogie. But yeah, really. And if he fight, you don't want that to happen. Pretty much, he can't be in that position in the first place.
Yeah, no, I mean, so yeah, you're really sold on this this Oogie being pretty damn powerful in the late game, but I don't know, something tell like Warbeast, he is getting pretty big himself, to be fair. 427 gold per minute. The Brutalizer, we did see the last fight, it was doing plenty of work for him, and he got something. What's being delivered to him? Something's on the courier. It is the Soul's Bulwark. So yeah, we are going to see the eventual demonic breastplate here coming out for Warbeast. So if he had supporting cast doing better around him, I would feel a little more confident for the Oogie. But I don't know. Minus is next in line, only at 300 gold per minute. It's all right, but not a lot.
I see what you're saying, but I'm pretty sure Oogie's next pickup is going to be a Frostfield plate, which is going to give him a lot of armor and make it very hard for a Warbeast to punch through, really. And I don't see Warbeast out carrying Oogie. However, you are right. If the supporting cast of Warbeast gets like Sheepsticks and Hellflowers, it's a different ball game, and Oogie will be able to be focused down. No man, no carry, maybe except for Ravener can do a 1v5 in a pro game. Not even Oogie. So it comes down to Sync getting some more items, in my opinion. But right now we see, like, look at the GPM in charge. Oogie is so far ahead of everyone else. And when he's fully slotted, he's going to be, a beast, a complete beast.
Yeah, no doubt he is very scary. Warbeast still hasn't got the Soul's Bulwark. I don't know if he just kind of forgot that it's on the courier or something, but it's actually been flying back and forth a couple times now. Now it's even going back to base, so...
I mean, that hatchet, man.
Yeah, I guess. I don't
For the
think so.
farm.
I think that has to be a case he kind of just has forgotten somehow. But, oh well, he hopefully will have it eventually here, at least before another fight breaks out. But, I mean, he is missing out on some quicker farm as a result. Okay, there we go. I think he finally realized. Yeah, he drops the hatchet. And now he's going to have to deliver. But in the meantime, his teammate's getting fought or picked off here, more so initiated on as more going in. Shards of Archon, Fade, follow-up, but no, doesn't really have enough support themselves. Behemoth goes in, though. That was costly for way too easy, and what essentially was a pretty silly stun right there.
Yeah, that was greedy. He shouldn't have gone in there. I'm not sure what he was thinking, but I guess he assumed someone from his team was going to follow that up, but actually he just went in and stunned, and that was it. No follow-up, and he died.
Yeah.
So, but still, great initiation, counter initiation from Mickey. He saw the saw the opportunity giving from way too easy sloppy play and followed up with a kill.
Revenant roaming in the woods right here. They are going to run into Rhapsody, actually, and that should secure an easy kill, as Oogie happens to be nearby on top of that. So going to pretty much let Revenant get it as well, trying to get him some more useful farm, maybe get that Hellflower here, which no doubt will be powerful to have for him and his team. Geez, look at the levels right here. Charlie's still level 8, actually.
Yeah, that's insane. I'm not sure how he does that. He gets he's get XP from his ephemeral forge, so I'm not sure how he keeps himself so low.
Yeah.
But both him and Fade, they're really far behind everyone. And also, Bihi is getting really close to that restoration stone.
Yeah, he is. What do you think about a Resto Stone Behemoth? Because it seems like we've had some varying opinions.
It feels like it should be a lot more awesome than it really is. That's how I feel about it. It's like on paper you're like, oh, double Bihi ulti, yeah, that's great, dude. That sounds amazing. But I don't really feel like it really performs as well as you want it to. Mm-hmm. That's how I feel about it. I think it's probably the greatest pickup you can get, but it's still not, it's not like a Dark Lady getting a cleaver or stuff like that. It feels like it's, yeah.
Well, that's my issue too. And again, I think it really goes back to, honestly, probably just better off getting a sheep stick and then a Resto Stone, because I think that at least warrants it a little bit more. Having a double sheep stick always a very powerful thing, a threat to have. So it's I think a little bit more for the sheep stick, if I'm not mistaken, but. 56, 75, 5200. It's a little bit more, but really close to the same at the same time that you'd be paying for it.
You could have gotten a Hellflower from that price.
That too, yeah. Even a Hellflower.
Which is also great, but yeah, I totally agree with you. Like, the synergy between Fade is scouting out Rhapsody.
He's looking.
But this Rhapsody is 2 levels ahead. I don't think this Fade can kill this.
No, not by himself. But with the team collapsing, they definitely can. Yeah, that'll be an easy kill.
Rip.
Just being patient.
That is the joy and wonder of playing hard support against the Fate Revenant lineup. You will get killed a lot.
Yeah, that's the plan at least. And again, it doesn't seem like they've been able to do as much as they would hope for in this game, but the Oogie has come through is what it goes back to here for Chopstick Gaming, and they're going to kill Kongor. I don't think this... I mean, the Hellhound's going to scout it here, but...
They're not going to defend.
Yeah, I don't think they are.
And this is really big. If Oogie gets this token, that means that he will be able to use his 5.4k. He doesn't have to save up for a buyback. If you have token, there's no reason for you to save up for a buyback. So he's gonna have the next tier of items here. And he actually just sold his. Wow, he sold his Gnome's Wisdom.
Oh, he did. Yeah, that means no we're in the teacher buff anymore. I wonder if somebody else is gonna pick up on that. I mean, even this late on the game, still pretty good. Arcade Vortex in the background. Here we go. The Hellborn team. They're trying to capitalize here. Behemoth off to the side. Tablet support from Sync right here. Pretty damn effective. And it will be enough. The tablet support is real. 3 tablets. That does work there.
That was really a really nice escape. And also like Oogie trying to fight with 7k gold and stash. That is insane. Oh wow, he just.
Huh.
Okay.
I
mean.
Okay.
No, I can see why he does that. I can see why he got at Resto Stone. Because, Oogie is a lot of... Like, Oogie can brawl when he has ulti up. That's when he brawls. This is not for his Towerquake, for his Confligate, for the passive, not at all. But this is for his ulti and the Hellflower. This is why he got it. As long as Oogie has his Primal Surge up, he can fight. And he can win. But as soon as it goes down... It's kind of like Salmon, to be honest. As soon as Salmon is without his ulti, he doesn't do that much.
Yeah,
and, same with ulti.
The biggest difference there is that you got Oogie. It's only a 24-second downtime between using it and it being down and then being able to use it again. So, but that's where it's kind of good to get a Resto Stone. To be fair, is that it'll be a very short Resto Stone cooldown, ideally, when he does use it. So, I can actually see that. This is different, though. I don't think we've ever seen a Resto Stone Oogie, so...
No, I mean, but it makes sense to me. And also, he's going to have Shrunken twice in a fight. That could also be a really huge deal against this almost all magic damage team.
Yeah. Absolutely. Demonic Breastplate just finished on Warbeast. Barrier Idol did eventually get picked up, actually. on Ophelia. So really feeling that. It is just so much intense magic damage. Might as well get that absorption here, despite conversation we were having earlier.
Yeah, I mean, I still, I don't know. I'm not sure. It feels like he spent like 3.5k on this. Actually, he just used he spent 3k extra from the Westmans on this item pickup, and I would just much rather see a sheepstick, to be honest, because Oogie is gonna pound through that in a matter of one hit or one confligate charge, and then I mean Revenant, Midas. I don't think that is going to save an individual in a fight, so they're going to be 4v5 no matter what.
Yeah.
Mid lane.
Sheepstick middle lane. Rhapsody is caught. Tarquake's coming out. One more. There's that Barrettle. Astrolabe really doing everything to keep him alive. They chase him pretty far just to kill a Rhapsody. They will secure it, though, and now actually Ophelia gets caught as well. Team support not really here. And they're not coming back either. In fact, Behemoth, he does a post save, so he could, but they're not going to. They just say, screw it, what's done is done. And Oogie even adds more charges now.
Yeah, that was, I mean, that was just some miscommunication on the team. Someone was mid, and they really shouldn't.
Dude,
you see how Matthias and Mickey, they're like, okay, well, you guys are in deep shit. We're not coming. This is your own fault. You should have been with us.
I'm very surprised by that because, again, the first thing that I was thinking, maybe just one of them just didn't have a TP. All of them had TPs. Unless they were on cooldown and I just didn't see it, but I'm pretty sure they all had TPs, and that was just a conscious decision to be like, they're screwed, let's just counter push. But now their base is being knocked on, and they're going to have to deal with that here. Oh, jeez. That was close. Shockwave, actually. Revenant gets jumped, but at what cost here? Behemoth being turned now. Oogie, he's got the token for a minute 10 still. He has Primal Surge ready to go. The rest is done. A Shrunk is going to be up soon. I'm surprised they actually are falling off, honestly. Well, they don't have everyone here, so I guess that's why.
I feel like that's really weird as well. They could just, like, all right, someone needs to push out bottom, and then they can go mid. Warbeast doesn't have his ulti up. BT doesn't have his ulti up. What are they going to do to Oogie with token? Why? I don't understand why they're backing off. Yeah. This could be the fight. Midas just finishing off his sheepstick. Like, this is actually it all comes down to the BT ulti in team fights. That's how Sing is going to win a team fight. And right now that ulti is on cooldown. Together with Warbeast ulti is actually up again because it's so short cooldown. But still, I don't know. I think they should take the chance right now.
Oh, middle lane, they're going to try to get maybe a jump on Behemoth, but the Fissure stun just prior screws everything up. And now Fate in pursuit. The stun on to Behemoth still going in, but the backup a little too far away. It looks like Shards of Harkar going to be applied, though. But again, too far away. Midas still jumps in. Sheepstick onto Luna. They catch her. And Luna goes down with ease. Oogie's still in chase. He actually has a shrunken head up here. Yeah, so he used that expecting a fight to take place, and he's still going now. He doesn't have the token anymore, remember. But it's still Oogie with the Primal Surge. Yeah, he's still fine.
He's just fine. I feel like he should be using his money, though. He has enough for a Frostfield plate in just 50 gold. I think he should be buying that before they push base. That's my opinion on that matter, at least.
Look at his regen, man. That's ridiculous. It's just going up so fast. 22 charges here on the icon. But yeah, no, he is sitting on that gold for the time being. As they are pushing into the base, so maybe figures by the time it gets here, it wouldn't really matter, so they're just going to go instead. And they are going to kill the tower, and now will they get more? Warbeast gets caught. Protective Melody just in range. It's saving all that damage. And Oogie has to be tapping it out. He is in trouble. He pops the Primal Surge, and he runs away as soon as he does, so curious about that. But they're picking and choosing their timing, though. Playing it pretty cautious here. Goes back in. Behemoth just got a Restless Stone, by the way. He's going to jump in. Butt Shark and activated by Oogie. He is getting low, though. He needs a Restless Stone. He couldn't in time. He goes down. Too much damage. He was not expecting the damage to happen that quickly, apparently. And honestly, his team support wasn't really there. In fact, they're also going to catch Revenant as he tried to TP out. Oogie got a little too far ahead of his teammates there.
Look at this fight. Was that really a 3 for nothing?
It was.
I don't see any buybacks. Like, Mickey was the only one that bought back, and that's a long time ago. This is why you should be fighting when BT doesn't have his ulti up. He almost, he landed the ulti on 3 people that fight, and they got shut down so hard. That was, I don't know, now he has a double ulti, so now you can never really be sure if he has an ulti up or not. But Oogie does. Never mind, they take it.
They're going in. Oogie is going to buy back. There's the redstone, then the Fisher Stun blocking off any chance. You see Talbot's over it, actually, though, and they will catch Rhapsody right here, at least for the time being, and Sandia basically accepting death and kind of distracts him a little bit more as much as she can. So the buyback does result at least in one kill. I got to think, though, third Kongor here is going to be absolutely huge in this game number 1 for these two teams.
Also, there we go. He could have had it in the fight and not died to Warbeast because Frostwood Plate does a ton of work for you when you're against melee carries. But he chooses to build the armor part of the Frostwood Plate now. And then I guess they're just going to... It looks like they're aggressively pushing out.
Yeah, they are.
It's interesting.
Maybe they know Resto, they know Eruption, or Shockwave, excuse me, is on cooldown, I guess. So perhaps that's the logic here.
I mean, it's going to be up in about 10 seconds. They're not going to make this.
Yeah, maybe they think they really have more time.
I mean, yeah, it really feels like they missed a big opportunity of going. And now Mickey is just blocking off the base.
Yeah, I got to say this Wrestle Stone, too. It really seems it's not really doing a whole lot. But here we go once again. The Storm Spirit, though, on a Warby saves him initially. They're doing everything they can off the bat to keep him alive. The Tablet support. Sync is on top of it, and now Oogie. He is being turned on the stun locked onto him. It's now Legion's turn. As there's the Shockwave. No, shrinking it up on Oogie currently. He's going to be thrown in the air with the Sword Spirit. Has to wrestle stun. He does it. Primal Surge. There's his own Shuriken. He's going back in, but he's dropping too fast, it looks like. He's trying to survive this whole time. Warbeast gets low. Warbeast will fall first, though. Oogie's heal are too much. The supporting cast of the Hellborn team proving to work out for the better. It is a 2-for-1, though, in favor of not Sync. And actually, it looks like, again, we will now come to a conclusion, but that was so close. To the two carries going at it.
Yeah, I mean, this time around, Oogie didn't die because he had a lot of extra armor, and also Kizu wasn't really able to focus him down, but pretty much exactly the same thing happened. Oogie got initiated on by Bihi. Mickey kept him in place, and while Kizu was just pounding on him with the Warbeast, this time around he didn't die because he actually used his money.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that goes to show how important it actually is. And that's a Frosted Blade finished. That is going to be huge for the next coming fights.
Yeah, now that is a great item to see for sure. So, and actually we did see Behemoth and Aluna at the top lane right there. They were looking to gank somebody who had farmed the lane. It unfortunately ended up being Oogie. And they realized, we probably can't kill him. That's the one.
Up without everyone there. Oogie is a raid boss at this point, and he needs to be treated as such. Now, Fate really hasn't had any item progression in this game. He has a tablet and some striders, and he's had that for a long time. He just got a pole key. I would love to see Mora and Fate get some more items. As you were saying, the supporting cast around Oogie is not very. They're kind of poor. Midas did pick up the sheepstick though, and Revenant has a health bar, so it's not too bad, but.
Yeah, they got some tools here for sure.
Yeah.
Kongor is up, by the way. More going in. Arcane
that.
Vortex, who did it get? It got a couple, it looks like, including Behemoth, I'm pretty sure. Oogie goes in, pops the Shuriken. They're going to go damage on Behemoth really off the bat. What a burst right there. And Behemoth is dead. Rhapsody goes down as well. Aluna in the background. She's caught. She goes down. What do you do? Level 3 Kongor or push into the base now is the question. They're going to be pushing, it looks like.
Behemoth has no buyback.
Yeah. Aluna doesn't either. None of them do.
I think Charlie just might have won the game for his team here with that amazing ulti. That catch on Bihi and Rhapsody. What can Sync do at this point?
They're going to have to accept the racks for sure. Ophelia and Warbeast, there's no way they're stopping. In fact, you see the counter push coming out from Warbeast. So, yeah, that's a kind of question there at the end. What are they going to do? Kongor, which is the third Kongor, or push into the base? And they chose to push into the base, and I think that was the better decision.
You should always go for the racks and force a buyback, and then rinse and repeat until they don't have any more buybacks. Unless for some reason token allows you to just win the game. In this case, there were no buybacks. They tested that, and now they can get a free Kong on top of the racks.
Yeah, they're still resurrecting even, so they already got the racks. Now they're back at Kongor. I don't know if they're going to kill it quickly. Yeah, they should be fine.
Yeah, that should be it.
Good. Okay.
The only thing I'm questioning is whether or not Oogie is going to pick it up. I think Revenant just made space for the token, so he's probably going to be the one picking it up.
Oogie can't drop anything. I mean, you look at his inventory,
exactly.
He really can't drop anything, so yeah. I think that makes sense. Bananas on Midas, it looks like, but yeah, they give the token to Revenant, so. But that now brings up the question, is what did Oogie spend his gold on? Well, he just rebought his Shrunken Head right there, so that's a good decision.
Definitely, really smart. He's going to need every single second he can get where he won't get stunned or locked down by a Luna or Beaky or Rhapsody. But really, what wins them the fight is the fact that they catch Beaky. If they can catch Beaky before he gets off his stuff, they can win the fight. If not, the fight goes kind of stale, and a lot of chasing ensues. But yeah, Hellborn is looking to try to catch this Beaky before he gets off his ulti.
Oogie pushing out the bottom lane. He's by himself currently. Well, he does have a little bit of backup here in Midas, I guess, but a little bit risky to be this far spread out from your team at this point in the game, so got to be careful. But yeah, it's safe to say with the token, with the bananas, if you're Chopstick, you're up one set of racks. Maybe look to end this here in the very near future, because you don't want to keep buying time for sync, let them keep split pushing you and maybe get a backdoor racks on you. That could definitely change things up. Midas, he almost got Warbeast at the top lane. In fact,
close.
Yeah, that was really close. Warbeast chose not to Shrunken either, just in case, but he actually buys a Resto Stone, by the way. We have seen this before on Keizu.
Yeah.
Get the Resto Stone on Warbeast.
Not surprising either. It's the same with it. Like, it's exactly the same. He needs his ulti up to really do work, and this is the way he's trying to ensure that he can do work. Rhapsody, rip buddy.
Maybe. Yeah, I'm dead. As soon as Oogie comes in, easy kill. Oogie, by the way, for 52 minutes into a game at 20% hero damage done, that's now 21%, not 20%, but anyways, it's a lot. That's a lot of damage done in the game at 52 minutes in. But,
definitely. He's just brawling away in these fights. Sneaky scouts here from Fade allow them to get a pick off on Rhapsody. And, oh.
Wow, they're going to catch somebody else in the base. Right, that's Behemoth, by the way. The Sheepstick comes out, and again, he can't do a damn thing. He's trying to live throughout all this support. It's not going to be enough. Oh, my God, it was. He got ported back, actually, so he does survive. And now Oogie overcommitted a little bit. Has to run away. Primal Surge is up, though. He has a Frost Field. The rest will still, I mean, it's all good to go still, so he's not really in a bad spot either. And he's fine here, so good save on a Behemoth.
Yeah. Jesus, that was a close one. It's exactly what they're trying to do. Like, Charlie really is on top of the game plan here. He knows if I catch Behe, we win the fight. If I don't, Behe is going to be going on us. He's going to be locking down Oogie, and maybe they'll get to kill Oogie, and that way they can win the fight. So really smart plays from Charlie. Definitely realizing what's up and how to play around it.
Absolutely. And now that supporting cast is definitely growing quite a bit. That was one thing constantly going back to criticize here of Chopstick Gaming and what they're running with. But we're 53.5 minutes in. You're bound to have something, and they sure do. Obviously, we talked about all the tablets, the Hellfly, the Sheepstick, the Storm Spirit on Midas. You got another 3,500 gold on Revenant right here. So we'll see what he actually buys with this. Maybe just eventually get a Sheepstick himself, too. Even more lockdown to work with here. The portal key even on Moira eventually gotten a lot later than she would have liked, but at least has it now. What's going on up here? Well, Luna's diving pretty deep just to get a ward of sight down. Some vision for the team, but gets it down.
This can prove to be really important vision. If they see B or if they see Oogie farming up here and there's someone bottom, they know, okay, we can go for this kill. And normally they wouldn't be going for this kill because they'd be like, okay, they're baiting this guy down here with the entire team behind him. So I think it's good. That can prove to be very valuable information.
Yeah.
Dude, Hellborn Freddy's
and there's the bottom
example.
tower.
They see Revenant now. Like, okay, well, they're not 5. Maybe we should go chase. That's not exactly what they're doing, but now they have the option.
That's very true. Nearly 700 gold per minute, Oogie, though, making things difficult overall. You got Warbeast, the Wrestle Stone now. But that was the thing also for this Legion side. I mean, that really kind of still stands, even though as actually top lane, there you go. Behemoth actually does get the kill onto him. He's going to have to kill this illusion, though he does. He's going to
Well
keep
played by
going.
Mickey.
He's out
But
of
at what
mana,
cost,
though.
Breaky?
Yeah.
But at what cost?
They're going to pause right as Midas goes in.
That is unfortunate.
I mean, he's dead. He's no way to get away here, so.
Insane freeze.
Insania froze,
This could
but
be game. He has his buyback up.
Yeah. He doesn't have
But,
resto, though, or ulti. He double ulti there for a kill.
Yeah, I mean, if Demo was quick to, or sorry, if these guys play with like sub accounts, all of them. This is Flex Cabana, usually used to play for Rexar, Mewtwo. If Flex or Mewtwo, whatever you want to call him, notice that both ultis were used on him, he's going to be telling his team about this, and they're probably going to be grouping up for a final push.
Yeah.
He might even buy back for that.
How about this Nullfire Blade purchase, by the way, in Ophelia?
That's to deal with the sheep stick.
Okay, that makes sense.
Nullfire is a pretty inexpensive way to deal with someone getting sheeped. It's hard, of course, to get it off, but it can be really effective. And Slapped is not the focus target in these fights. It's going to be Bihi. So if he can manage to cleanse someone who's getting Hellflowered or sheeped, they can pop right back up to the other team's surprise, get their shrunken off, and boom, all of a sudden the fight can be turned.
Yeah. I love this Oogie avatar when we're in a pause.
This is the music.
The music going, and it's just like the paint that's flying all around it. It's pretty badass, actually. What's got going on here? This is fun. Yeah, guys, for how much we have seen Oogie once again, though, formless, obviously most noticeably known for playing it on complexity. Again, the whole Resto Stone idea is very interesting one, and I still don't know if it really makes the most sense or if it's like done a whole lot for him.
It doesn't hit very hard.
Yeah, and it's just exactly. I think that is a little bit to it because it's like, what would he get instead of that? Frostwolf Skull. Yeah, that would probably make the more sense. As far as
I think he might be selling, like he's sitting at 6K. I think he might be selling his icon for Frostwolf at some point. Icon gives him a lot of regen. I know that, but at some point he might just want the extra health pool and attack speed and damage, and the chase potential that Frostwolf gives you. But right now he seems content with staying with his item build. But I will give you, he doesn't deal that much on his auto attacks.
Yeah. That's
he's letting the spells do the talking.
I mean, that is kind of Oogie ultimately, to be fair, but yeah. I wonder if something like a Grimoire, you could even warrant that on a hero like Oogie. That's something we really haven't seen often.
Good one.
The Wretched Hag days.
Yeah, I mean, Grimoire isn't too bad, to be honest, but when he already has the Restoration Stone, I think he want to go for, I said Frostwolf and all that, but I think he want to go for like items that synergizes with the Restoration Stone from now on, just to get the full value and potential out of the whole restoration thing. That would be my take on it. Like, if you go the Restoration Stone, you might as well, if you can handle it, if you can handle the item, the extra items that you are in charge of, I think a Hellflower pickup, for instance, could be very important. That's like double CC times 2 because of the Restoration Stone.
Yeah, that's true. That's a lot of button clicking, though.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, that is the cap. This is, if you can do that, you're at the uppermost skill in Han. If you can manage that in a team fight, click the right buttons, use the right spells and the right items, and then Restoration Stone, and do it all over again, then you get like everyone's thumb of approval, I think. But it doesn't happen that.
That's the thing. It's like, that makes it sound silly to say like it's a lot of button click and like, oh my god, a lot of button click. But you try being, in an intense battle, a top tier play, having to figure out which cooldowns to use exactly at the precise moment. They are going to catch Behemoth, by the way. And yeah, it's just a matter of time before he did die up there. So good job taking out Mickey. And as we mentioned, he does have buyback, but he would not have Eruption. Or Shock Beam, excuse me.
Revenant is not buying back. He's instead, he bought a Fiber and then he sold it again. So they're not going to be taking advantage of the ulti being down, it looks like. Well, they're just going to be, I guess, pushing out the side lanes.
Bottom lane, Warby's in trouble. Here comes Faye. This should be, if they get this kill, this is big. He does have a buyback. Did he do it early? No, he did not. Here comes the Sheepstick. Mora coming in as well. Luna running there as fast as she could. Warby's gets ulti form off barely. Here comes the Arcane Vortex, though. I don't know if they're going to be able to catch him, though. Yeah, he is actually going to live. So they get him to use a lot there. But he does make the getaway.
I feel like that was a little greedy played by Fade again. I mean, chances, if Kizu was super ready, he can shrunken up as soon as Fade hits him. Like, as soon as he sees the, like, Fade goes out on the animation and he hits him, he can shrunken up with the epic reflexes and just run out. So it was sort of like Kizu being, he wasn't ready for the Fade initiation, but if he had been, he could have shrunken up and just ran out of there. That would have been silly.
Bottom lane, they're pushing out. Again, obviously Warby's, he did use a bit at the time to survive, but that's, again, the cooldowns are pretty low ultimately, so our backup, in fact, the Shrunken had about 5 more seconds, he'll be good to go. But the Hellborn team not going to stop then. They still want to make a push happen. The Fissure block, though, will thwart off an attack for the time being. Going to eventually go off, though, and it looks at the Hellborn side somewhat semi-retreating, not going fully back by any means. Gonna wait for the next creep wave here. Then look to go back in. You mentioned the Firebrand on Revenant, so Geometer's Bane, pretty good on him actually. As far
Definitely.
as damage assister. Wants to get that as soon as possible. They're gonna play the game of slowly ticking down the tower, but it's not easy.
Yeah. I was just about to mention it's not that great against the Bihi. Like, can possibly generate more damage with his ulti on your illusions, but it's very, like, as soon as Remnant has his geometers, he can kill people solo because all his illusions gets the buff if he, defile everyone, and that makes him hit quite hard and give him a very bursty entrance to any fight.
Cat and mouse here. What's going to happen? Obviously, the middle lane, Sync is constantly having to worry about that as well. Faye needs to be really careful here. Sitting by herself somewhat in the middle. I'm pretty sure she was seen a little bit by that rev board, but she is fine. There is no Bound-Eye currently on the Legion side, but again, they are in their base after all, so not really.
Mars getting ready here. There we go.
Kinda. He's looking around, seeing if he can get anyone. Arcane Vortex.
Oh, no.
Not really the best placement.
Oh, that was not the ulti they were looking for.
Nope.
Now they're gonna be falling back.
Yeah, not worth going. I will say for especially lesser experienced teams being up against a team like Sync, I find that we say the rare times it does happen, we go back to now they just need to play. Don't overcommit, don't go too crazy with this. Just play it somewhat safe. And make sure to do your work and secure the victory at the end. And that's exactly what Chopstick Game is doing here. They are playing it very safe. They've been doing that for the most part in this game.
Definitely.
And it's helping them.
I mean, if they were using, they have the entire map under their control, so they should actually just be farming up like Midas, Remnant. Make sure that eventually they will all just have like be super stacked on items, and then Sync really won't be able to do anything. Bottom.
Yeah, they're going out, actually. The Hellhound porting into it. That was really fun. Can they catch Oogie? That's Behemoth Shockwave follow-up. Trying to keep him locked down this whole time. Will it be enough? Finally, a Storm Spirit comes out, though. And no, they're locked in as soon as it comes out. What coordination from Sync right there. Mora also picked off. And it took a while, but the coordination of using the crowd control was on point from Sync. And Oogie, well, let's just say he has a buyback of 9,300 gold saves. But still.
So, starting a bank account in Switzerland soon. Like, that was a beautiful place from Oogie. Matthias ported in to Kizu's Hellhound. Oogie couldn't see that because the Hellhounds, of course, are invis. But porting into that with post haste, he got right on top of Oogie, managed to stun him, and then follow up a Hellflower. That was just really well done from both Kizu and Oogie.
So, obviously, Oogie's in an interesting spot of the 9,300 gold save top. I mean, he's not even going to have to use a buyback here, apparently. Maybe he will. It's actually, yeah, they're going to the base. So, now it's a question of the Hellborn side. Does he use it? He does. Now, can they save the melee racks? Restless Stone used by Warbeast. Double Shrunken Head coming out. Arcane Vortex, I don't think it got anybody, and that'll be enough for a getaway. You know, maybe they want to catch this behemoth, and they may have just done that. Nope, we got ported back. He's going to be fine.
Oh, the snap illusions here. Pushing the racks very slowly.
Oh, yeah, it's not going to be nearly enough, though. See, this is the thing, though. Oogie now has 7,400 gold with no buybacks. He needs to buy something. He needs to buy a courier with, something. You can't just sit on this gold.
I think he's going to upgrade his Shrunken Head. Or it's actually 9 charges. I agree with you. He needs to bring out some couriers with some codexes or sheepsticks, because this is too much farm to not be using.
I think getting rid of the icon and getting a Frosted Skull is probably a good choice here too, though. Something like that. Because as you mentioned, the icon, it's good, but does he really need the regen right now? I think the burst is what's doing it, and regen isn't necessarily going to be a big difference maker. More just of a static life pool is probably going to help be more efficient in the end. So,
indeed.
I don't know if he's thinking about it or what, but he still hasn't bought anything just yet. Token is going to be dropped here from Congo, though, as well as another pair of bananas.
He sold it.
Okay, he sold it. He gets the token, and now he's just going to sit on this gold even more until he dies here, probably, or wears off.
I mean, honestly, the whole the trouble started when Revenant was showing top. He showed on the lane top, and meanwhile, Kisu's Wolves, that's like the vision I was talking about in top lane that Omi placed a very risky ward. Like, they got the vision on Revenant showing on the lane top, so they knew that Revenant wouldn't be bottom, and that's when they decided to go on Oogie. As long as we don't have the Hellborn team repeat that mistake one more time, I think they're fine. But if they do so, they won't have a buyback on Oogie, and they will lose their Raxes. Yeah.
We have officially surpassed the hour-long mark, and again, we've had a couple of pauses here, so it's really been 70-plus minutes even, if not longer. So he does get the Frost of Skull, and now he's just, again, the question is, does he actually replace an item that he currently has, or is he just going to kind of sit with it until he does lose the token here? Fade also getting a Nullfire Blade, by the way, as well. So we talked about the Legion side getting it, kind of helps against the Sheepsticks. You got the idea that maybe it's for that. Well, do they have Sheepsticks? No, I guess they don't, actually, so never mind. But I guess the Hellflower can perch off. But also the Portback from Ophelia. I wonder if that's a little bit of the thinking there, too.
Possibly.
So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Fate picked up an Hellfire Blade as well to purge off someone who's also sheep or Hellfire. So, I mean, I think this game, like, they have we have the token on Hellborn side. I think they should be the one making the move. Sync is not in favor of a team fight right now, but it looks like the Hellborn team really doesn't feel like pushing in. They're kind of just occupying the jungle.
Yeah, then that kind of, I guess, does go back a little bit about they're playing it safe, playing it smart, but maybe playing a little too safe here as far as their decision-making has gone throughout this game. I'm not saying they should just go YOLO into the base by any means, but, you know, when you have a token, like what are you waiting for? Is what I like, right? What are you waiting for here if you're the Hellborn team? You're not getting any crazy bigger item that's like, oh, okay, here we go. Now they're going to really break through. That's not happening anymore. Oogie's basically maxed out. That's been established here. When he drops a token, he's going to get a Frosted Skull, and that'll pretty much be it. Like, so that's what if you're Chopstick Gaming, that's what you have to be telling yourself right here. You can't just get caught up in this idea like, oh, we got to be safe. Well, how much longer are you going to continue to be safe for? Because in the meantime, the Legion side, I mean...
Oh, there we go.
I guess their scaling continues to not necessarily be the most threatening, but...
Okay, they're not going in on this.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Well,
you know what? I think it's going to be like Call versus TDM. You know, one team is just going to be piling up bananas until someone has like 5 bananas on one hero, and then that hero is just going to be immortal for that team fight. I think that's exactly what's going to happen. At least if they get to it. We just need to sit through a lot of Congo kills.
That is probably the plan. That token, a minute 30 remaining on it. Is the courier down here with the Frosted Skull? It is. I was going to say, that would be silly if it wasn't. But here we go. He says, screw it. We got to make something happen, and that's exactly what he's doing. Go for Behemoth once again. And Mika is being locked down, tapping away yet again, and doing everything they can to keep him alive. And they do. Warbeast in the background. He ends up chasing out Fade. Resto Stones being popped all over the place as Warbeast back in, and he's still holding his ground with that shrunken head, but now he has to fall back. He does have another one to use, but not necessary right there.
Nothing happened, Breaky. Nothing happened in that fight.
Other than Fade
So
dying.
much action, but nothing happened.
The shrunken heads, man. I mean, that Resto Stone on Warbeast actually really has proven to be a great choice because obviously Oogie does nothing against him right now. That goes back to him kind of needing that Frostwolf Skull. At least that allowed him to do something.
Yeah. I mean, those spells doesn't really like burst you down or anything. So they just like the defender heroes with Storm Spirits and tablets, and I don't know. We don't really see like I would like to see Midas get in behind and hit the supporting lines of Sync, like stop them from saving the front line. If they can do that, Oogie can make work. But right now, no one's really like Moira is the only one that really dares to go in with her Ephemeral Forge, but it really only takes them so far.
Denver Pro Midas, he's somebody that we want to keep an eye on here because 5,300 gold saved up. I mean, you look at what he has. I think they need him to get something like an aggressive damage item. Yeah. I don't know what, honestly. I mean, like a Savage Mace even? Just get something for right click, right? Like, they need some kind of physical now. That's very evident here with the Shrunken. So,
I mean, yeah, I mean, you might be right in that one because, I mean, they have enough magic damage, but as soon as Shrunkens are up, they can't really do enough. So, yeah, he should be using some money at least, because a buyback on him is not really going to do anyone anything. If Oogie falls, they lose. That's pretty much how it goes, no matter how many buybacks you have. Right, maybe not. No matter. No, there's probably an amount of buybacks on the other heroes that could do it. But if Oogie falls, this game is most likely going to be over.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you have a good point. Midas should be spending that money.
Well, he just got a demonic breastplate, so kind of accomplishes that. I mean, and it's good to have, of course, especially against the Warbeast threat. So it's hard to say that's a bad item. Big, I actually think that is overall a pretty good choice here.
Yeah, it deals with Warbeast's physical presence. Like Warbeast just runs around. He doesn't even hit Oogie that much. He kills all the guys. He kills Revenant. He kills Midas. He kills Fate. He chases down the heroes that can't get away, that aren't particularly tanky. And Demonic might help them survive.
You know, this also goes back actually. Oh my God, is there something down here? Yeah, they're setting up kinda. Aluna gets caught. Aluna is gonna fall. She does have 2 buybacks still though, so.
Yeah,
not the end of the
but I
world
mean,
there.
you can't do that against a Fade. You're hiding in trees and TPing out. That's a great gimmick you can do against anyone but a Fade.
Ooh, look at that!
God,
what did he
shards.
sell for that? I'm blanking on what he had there, because now he has a Rift Shards there. It was boots. He does not have boots anymore.
Yes, he does
Okay.
not have boots.
I mean, ulti form he runs haste, so
Yeah.
I guess
his thinking is that he's only really going to be needing, like, he's not going to be needing boots. He's going to, in team fights, he's going to be, it's Breaker Bust. If he doesn't get the kills when he has his ulti up, he's not going to do anything anyway.
If he didn't have a Resto Stone here, then this would be a little more of a questionable, I think. But I think the Resto Stone is what pretty much does. It's like he's going to have a 32 seconds of ulti form, essentially. So that's plenty within a fight.
And a buyback. Fate is looking like she wants to do something here, but I think it's just going to turn out to be just scouting.
I don't like this, though, from the Hellborn team. The Oogie has 7,300 gold with no buyback. He need, like, why? Ugh, just buy something. You need something on the courier, a sheepstick, a puzzle box, anything to assist right here while you're pushing into the base. But it's if they commit to this without doing so, then this is going to be a big fault to the Hellborn side.
Yeah, I gotta say, like, when I saw Charlie had a courier, bought an extra courier, I was like, yeah, they're gonna do something with that. But it's honestly just sitting there.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Yeah, it's here on the right side.
They're not putting items on it. They're not really doing anything. He's just chilling in over the water, enjoying the view. But yeah, I agree. Like Oogie, those 7K are not gonna do anything for him. He can rebuy the Shrunken, but like right now he has 7 charges up. Rebuy the Shrunken, then buy something else. Just use the money. I agree.
Fade. There's a rev horde right there. It's kind of a little sneaky in the end, though. Fade wears off, but you can tell the Hellborn team again not looking too antsy to push in, and so Sync is just going to continue the grinding game of staying alive. Again, they've now got the level 4 Rift Shards on Warbeast. I'm trying to, but this is the problem though with Sync's lineup, to be fair, at the same time, and it especially goes back to how Aluna's built too. If she built a very heavy carry, like more of a right-click build herself, like sure, Hellflower's good for that, but honestly, she went for something like a Hellflower into a Sheepstick, or not even a Sheepstick, but even like a Savage Mace, something like that'll really help that right-click. Then maybe they would be a little bit more worried about her scaling here, but that's obviously not the case. You went very utility, very support-heavy, in essence, with their build, and so it's just Warbeast that they have to worry about. That's really scaling.
I think you're right. I think Matthias should have been focusing. Like I think it's completely correct to get the tap in the first place, but following it up with a Storm Spirit and following with the Pole Key, then a Storm Spirit and a Hellflower, I think that's too much support. I think he should have realized that his team is going to need some carry other than the Warbeast, and he's pretty much just full support right now. 1300 health. He doesn't do that much damage. I completely agree with you. He should have. He should start thinking about doing some carry items.
Yeah, but again, he's not getting a whole lot of gold right now. Only 290 gold per minute because they're just relying on creep waves that are being pushed into their base. So I don't know if he can. He would have to sell like the Storm Spirit at least here, and even something like the portal, the tablet at this rate, and try to transition into that way. But yeah, I don't know if he really can do it now. What? Okay, he bought a Storm Spirit, but then he put the Shrunken back in his inventory. So he bought a Storm Spirit on the Courier. Did they really need another Storm Spirit? I mean, they have one on Midas already. I don't know if I like that. I think the Sheepstick might have made more sense here.
Yeah, I agree. And there is he's gonna stack the bananas, isn't he? Charlie has 2 bananas. Yes, they're stacking the bananas. I called it. 3 bananas. There we go.
Do they have 3 really? Oh my god.
They have 3 bananas.
They have 3
They're stacking the bananas. Yeah,
this is ridiculous. You have King Muckla on your team. That's kind of true. Well, is this game gonna end? I don't know. Like, I feel like we're just kind of doing the same thing here. They kill Conqueror, they come bottom, they try to push a little bit, doesn't really work. No one really dies, and then they just fall back and rinse and repeat. So, I mean, something's got to give sometime. Somebody's finally going to get up to the point where it's like, just screw it, let's just try something crazy, I'm sure. But, jeez.
Revenant has the token now, not Oogie. I think that's a good swap up. I don't think Oogie should be having the token anymore. He has his Frostwolf. He should be tanky enough to survive. And they have a tablet on Revenant still, whatnot, tablet on Fate as well. So they should be able to save him if Sync goes on him. Yeah. But Revenant is still not nearly as tanky. But yeah, it looks like we're about to have the last teamfight here.
Revenant, again, he's pointing out the Geometer's Bane, but it gets cleared up pretty quickly right there. He's doing some pretty good right clicks against Warbeast. Not enough, though. Something else I wanted to bring up when we saw the Demonic Press Play pick up, that's right, not only did they not have the Soul's Borg for the whole time buff, but they remember he sold the Gnome's Wisdom a long time ago, so they haven't had a Ring of the Teacher, and they still don't have one here on the Hellborn side. Or the Legion side, of course, you basically got everything, right? You got Demonic, you got that, you got the Plated Greaves, the Abyssal Skull, so you really got it all here on the Legion side. So that's something that is also a little bit of concern here for the Hellborn team that we're 75 minutes in and still not even a Ring of the Teacher, let alone like
they're falling back because their top lane is getting pushed. Oh god. This game has been dragged out so far. It's insane.
And it's Sync's doing what they can to stay in this, and they're playing it very smart. But yeah, I really think it is on Chopstick that, and I don't even know, like, it is getting to a point where, like, can they really, like, I think that they kind of missed their opening. I really do, and that this is why this game is still going on, with Sync actually in a very good spot here to possibly come back. Oh, no, okay, this is something. Here we go. Warbeast gets caught. Here, the stun in the background on a Behemoth. Shrunken Head is pop fade in the meantime. dropping like it's hot right there. And now Warby turns attention to Oogie, but Oogie's chasing Ophelia in the background. Storm Spear comes out. Now he goes for Behemoth, but the kite is real with the tablets. The lockdown from the Brutalizer, and Oogie has to run. He's trying to run.
God.
He's going down. Oogie is going to fall right there. That could be it. He does not have a buyback. Token of life on Revenant. He comes up, but he's going to fall right away once again. So they had the jump initially, but the support was too strong from Sync. And now here comes the counter push. Oogie, no buyback, remember. Everyone else can. No, Faye cannot. It would be Revenant, Moira, and Midas. But they do need to protect their base, which looks like Behemoth is, as he goes back right now. So how much damage can they do? Here's the question.
You might question why Charlie is carrying the 3 bananas and not, like, someone else.
That's a fair point, too. I guess it's simply inventory space. But, yeah, maybe the Fade, you could argue, might be a little more efficient. But anyways, look at that. They chase down a Luna right there. Gets the kill. The Frostwolf Skull on Midas. Actually proving to do a bit of work. Elemental Force away. They were protecting Melody. Mitigating some damage from Revenant. And Revenant will go down. So Revenant got a little too comfortable trying to chase them out. And he goes down with no buyback now. As now we go Sync once again. But again, look at the middle. The middle, they need to keep that in mind here. Does not Sync right now. Jump in from Moira. Going to stall them as much as they can. 10 more seconds on Oogie. He's going to be up soon. They may not even lose the melee racks here. Okay, they're going to lose the melee racks, but still, they defended for quite a bit right here. And look at the middle of the tower once again. At the shrine. It's actually just about dead, and they can't TP back. They have to run. Somebody got ported. Okay.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I don't think it's a big deal right now. The mid lane is fortunately one of the lanes that has a lot of. Oh, there goes Sakura. The mid lane has a lot of huts in it, so they will tank for a while. But getting this Rax is more important than losing some huts. I get what you're saying, but right now both towers are up. They're not that worried about that right now. Yeah, but we are going to have to do this at least one more time before someone feels like the game is over, because right now it's even. I think it's evened out the amount of melee Raxes.
It's very evident that Sync knows what they're doing against Asogi. Like, the kite is unbelievable by them, but that's where it's more on Midas especially now. With that Frostwolf Skull, the demonic that he has, he's actually should be able to do some decent damage and chase a little easier, especially being ranged, of course.
Yes. I'm sorry. I've been seeing this feeling that I want Kisu to sell his Abyssal, and he just picked it up. Yes, there we go. Kisu got the symbol of rage now, and that's like with the restoration stone as well. Wow, he's gonna be hard to take down.
Holy crap! This game is this is game 1, ladies and gentlemen. Again, here we are today. For good reason. Reason versus Not Sync was the one that a lot of us were anticipating and excited for, and that ended up being a stomp in favor of Not Sync here. 2-0 pretty quick. And here we are on the second series now of Not Sync versus Chopstick. And lo and behold, we're 78 minutes into game number 1. And I don't know who's going to win. It really is.
Sheepstick on the courier.
Did he get the Sheepstick now too? Yeah, Sheepstick Storm
Sheepstick
Street. And he has 4,000 gold. Like, I do find that to be a little bit of an issue, honestly, where...
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, okay, jump once again. Shunkinhead going to be popped right there in the background. Rhapsody protecting Melody, but look at Midas. He's doing what he can to put some damage out. They got Warbies. Warbies getting low. Warbies is going to barely survive right there. He does have a buyback in case he falls out for the time being, as a shockwave comes out, and now it's Oogie's turn to take some good damage. He is going to drop once again. Oogie goes down. The fight back from Not Sync has 2 real right here. Moira is going to be picked off. Midas has to start falling back. His damage output just not enough. And all of a sudden, he is the lone survivor right here. They do have the courier. It uses everything. And now Midas is essentially on his own right now with 9 more seconds of the portal key. But yeah, if you're the leaders, I was going to say, do they really chase or do they just say, screw it? Let's just go for the base. They're going for the base.
Midas is going to force them back if they do that. He's just going to go hit the racks. No?
Is that going to be the plan? Yeah, he is kind of heading there now.
I mean, that's the only plan there is. There's no buyback from that team.
Rhapsody, too. He has to guide these.
Not sure what Denver's doing right here, but I really think he should be pressuring racks, forcing someone home.
He's not too sure, apparently. Denver Pro, he's kind of clearing up the creep wave. So, yeah, down goes the bottom racks, though. And now we see Sync going for the middle lane right here. Midas, but yeah, why is he farming the
Drops.
creeps is the question.
Yeah.
He really should just be going for the racks, I agree. And they're going to lose the middle racks right here, and now this is going to be mega creeps as Midas does jump in. He ports back, jumps in, Fade is up as well. Midas doing everything he can to prevent mega creeps, knows how important it is, but it's just not going to matter. Sync's just not caring about him. They get the mega creeps officially. Here comes the Arcane Vortex, though, and Oogie back up as well. So will they get some picks? They get a Luna. Warbeast is actually going to be picked off. He will be able to fly back, though, as he has 2, of course.
Without those boots and with the Frostroll Skull attacks on him, he just can't go anywhere unless he's in ulti form. And this is the last push we're going to be seeing. This 80-minute game is about to come to a conclusion here. They need to go for Throne here or full racks.
Okay, they're going to the top lane. Behemoth's Heart just picked up on Midas. Wow. 3,800 life. He hits okay, I guess. Only 211 max damage. Not a whole lot, honestly. At this point in the game, Behemoth 713 max damage. He has the enrage up. That is scary stuff.
That is hard hitting fella right
Revenant. Wow, Revenant middle lane. He's actually doing a pretty good push by himself. And he's going to get at least one of the towers. We are at Mega Creeps, ladies and gentlemen. And right now, Chopstick Gaming is the one pushing against it. And there we go. Behemoth jumps in with a shockwave to start things off. It's not going to be nearly enough, though. Storm Spirit into the air, going to be fine. Revenant holding his ground. Midas, despite as tanky as he is, he nearly falls right there. He has to run away. Oogie, he has bananas, by the way, on him. He's going to need to use them here shortly. As he does, he gets Tablet out. But again, they can't result to falling back right here. They are committed. They have to fight this. It's just too much, though. Oogie's running the whole time. He's doing no damage. He finally goes back in. Another banana's going to be popped right there. There's another shockwave coming out. Behemoth is some way, somehow still alive. Finally goes down. And now it's just Oogie. Oogie's going to fall, and that should do it. GG, well played. Not Sync will take out Chopstick Gaming, and they take the first game here in this 2-game series. What a battle to finish it all off.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think this is the longest game I've ever